All right, so that was the opening riff and one of the main riffs of the great tune, classic rock tune, Jack and Diane by John Cougar Mellencamp. And I've played this song many times on various gigs over the years, and I just played it a few weeks ago on a gig, and it just reminded me how great of a song it is, but there's also a really cool lesson baked into it. Basically, it's just a 3-chord song. It's just A, E, and D, kind of over and over again, but what they do in the production is they use different tones and different chord inversions of those 3 chords to get different textures and different sounds and kind of push the song forward. So it's really cool. So I thought I'd do a little mini lesson on it. Check it out. So the main riff there, the one with the crunchy guitar on it, basically what they're doing there is they're just starting with an open A chord. And I like to make it with my last 3 fingers, so my first finger can play the next chord, which is actually an E chord, but with the A and the bass. So here's your A, and then you just make an E chord, but you keep the A in the bass. So here's a typical kind of cowboy chord E, but you're playing it with the A and the bass. So that's really easy to achieve. If you play with the last 3 fingers, you can easily go back and forth between those 2 chords. And then it ends on an open D chord here, and then of course you have the obligatory. Got to get that in there, right? So that's kind of the main riff. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, it basically is just A, E, and D, kind of back and forth again, keeping that kind of A in the bass in strategic spots. Let's look at the next part of the tune. So basically, it's the same 3 chords, except for it's on the top 3 strings. Okay, so these are just inversions of those same 3 chords, and the first chord is an A, but you can kind of see it from that A bar chord, but you're just playing the top 3 strings. So that would be a first inversion A, and then they put a little trill on it. Then they go down to an E chord. This is a second inversion E chord, but it's just in the form of a D. So it's just like taking a D chord and moving it up a whole step, and you can suss that chord out here. Right, so, and then it goes down to D, and then back up to that E. So that's the cycle, and it's basically the same 3 chords. It's A, E, and D again. And then there's another spot in there in between the verses, and there's also when they re-enter after the big drum solo thing in the middle of the song there. They use those same 3 chords again, but now in different inversions. So they start with an open A, it's kind of a cowboy chord A, and then they play this D chord here, and the trick is you want to keep the A in the bass. And then this E chord. And those are first inversions, so that's a first inversion D, and this is a first inversion E. And that rhythm sounds something like this. And there's one little trick that they do in there is they do a little sus4 note on that E chord. And I think it's layered. There might be another guitar doing it on the top string too. But that's really it. But it's such a clever way of using the same 3 chords. And what is baked into that song is just such a great lesson for learning your chord inversions and showing you how you can kind of orchestrate a song that may have a simple chord changes, but you can make it more interesting and even maybe a little more complex using some of the different chord inversions. So check it out, and like, share, and subscribe if you dig it, and leave some comments what you think, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.